Hi there, happy Tuesday. Today I'm going to show you how I make these super fun, super quick texture stamps for my gel printing. So what you will need is sheets of adhesive-backed foam. This is one, I cut it down into quarters. You get a pack that's 4 times this size. I just cut them down because it's a good size to use. If you can't find the adhesive back, then you can use some glue instead, but this makes it super easy. You can also write or draw on the back as well. You'll need a ballpoint pen, a pair of scissors or a craft knife if you prefer, some pieces of cardboard, and a little bit of tape. Okay, so when you're doing letters or numbers or something that has to be oriented in a certain way, you should draw that the way you would see it, the way you want it to be seen on, excuse me, on the front side of the foam. It's tempting to want to draw back here because you won't mess up the foam, but you're really not going to mess it up. So let's say I want a 5. I want it to fit on this piece right here. So I'm going to start by just first lightly drawing this out. Okay, so I can go ahead and cut this out. All right, once I have it cut out, I'm going to peel off the back. Press it down. And this is where the ballpoint pen comes in really handy. It does draw on this pretty well, but if you press very firmly, you can add dots and lines and textures to your small shape. So let's see. Maybe I'm going to do something like this. You'll have to go over it probably a couple of different times. And then make sure you're just pressing very firmly. So you're creating a little ditch in there. What you're doing is pressing that foam away so that it won't pick up the paint with the indentation there. You should be able to feel the indentions in there. I like to round off the corners and get it kind of close. Cut off the excess close to the shape so I don't end up pressing those corners down into wet paint. All right, and then I will get a little piece of tape. Cut this off so it's a little more even. I'm going to carefully fold it in half so that it sticks together, but I don't want the entire piece to stick together. I'm going to make a little handle so that it's easy to pick the stamp up off the plate. Let me give that another try. That gives it a handle. Okay, you can also just freehand this thing. I want to create some wiggly stripes on here. So what I'm going to do is trim my adhesive. Well, here, let me do this. About like that. And I am just freehanding it. They don't have to be perfect. You can even use the little scraps. So I'm not even worried about the order that they're in. I'm going to kind of arrange them on here. I like that one better. Oh, I might even like them like this, where they're not quite so straight. All right, and then I'm just going to remove the backs. So here's how it turned out. You can see that I've already tested it out a little bit. Here's the 5. Let me just show you real quick how I use them. It's really simple. Probably doesn't need an explanation, but just in case. All right. You guys know I'm all about thin layers of paint. So I'm rolling off excess. Kind of started with a little bit too much there. Okay. So here's my 5. Pressing down firmly, trying to keep it on their level. All right. That looks like it worked pretty well. And then I'll just use part of this one. Now, a little secret is that if you let the paint get almost dry before you press in, it will lift up, these will lift up more of the paint and you'll have more of a solid behind there. So just putting my paper down. And there we go. Worked really well. I probably pressed a little bit too hard on that 5. Now you can tell I got the paint on there, but it actually kind of works. All right, that's it. Have a great day.